And it was an extraordinary thing to be around. He had demons. You know, we all have demons, and he had demons, and ultimately they won over him.
It's a dum-dum pop, but that doesn't mean anything.
I thought you had to at one point ask the crew, please stop laughing. Like, I really am trying to focus here.
We were all laughing. There was no such thing as sexual harassment back in those days.
Yeah,
on our set.
The boundaries were very.
Our set was a walking lawsuit.
In today's world, it would never. You turn a corner and it's like people having a very heated debate about bestiality. Like very heated,
Except
like no.
The
But
difference is that these were not actually harassing like conversations between superiors and people subordinate to them. This was just our job. It's just that if you had walked onto set at any given time, there was a solid chance that you would overhear something that would be considered incredibly inappropriate in the workplace.
it was a show.
It was a show that was
centered
basically around softcore porn.
Necrophilia.
I mean, basically, yeah.
Basically, I mean, if you really want to go there.
Sookie's down with necrophilia and bestiality.
Go HBO!
How about that, Philadelphia?
Everybody awake. Okay.
Hey, kids.
Daddy, where's necrophilia?
Have a lollipop.
True Blood Kids on Saturday mornings on Fox.
Imagine why we never syndicated to network.
But I recorded all those lines. You
Yeah.
freaking.
Yeah, it's like, because the freaking.
Yeah, we
versus-
used to have to do the stuff for, if it gets
Syndication.
syndicated or if it gets ever shown on an airplane. Our show was never shown on an airplane. We used to joke about the fact that we did sell to Malaysia. And Malaysia is very, very strict. And there's no swearing in Malaysia, there's no sex in Malaysia, there's no violence.
The show was 4 minutes
So basically, the
Yeah.
What were they buying?
It's all commercials.
They were buying a great credit sequence.
It's pretty much like, no, the credit sequence, there's violence in that. It's pretty much Harry
And
saying,
it's
oh,
like, yes,
please,
sure.
Sam, I have kids. That's it.
And then Pam comes on and goes, listen, you dork.
So Pam comes on and goes,
Anyway.
Looking back on it, what's the one memory that you cherish the most from the whole run that's lingered with you and makes you look back and say, yeah, that was good?
I mean, you guys have a family.
Yeah, well, that's.
she cries at everything. I love her so much.
I try everything.
Kristen's an empath. It actually means that I think there should be some retroactive Emmy for her Pam sociopath thing, because Kristin has more feelings no, I'm actually being completely serious, than any other human being I've ever met, and is such a dear, dear, wonderful, and now I'm gonna make her cry. See, look, I'm so sorry. But I'm being serious, so all of that hard-ass Pam stuff.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
See, there you go. That's okay.
That's so sweet, I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Yes.
No,
I'll be here all day. Never mind.
Oh no, I'm crying because you hurt me.
I mean, honestly, for me, I think the fact that 10 years or 8 years or whatever it is, later, more than one specific thing is how close our cast and crew still all are, and how much we are all still actively in each other's lives. Also, the fact that our show was kind of notorious in LA for being the crew killer show because it had the worst hours, and it was such a tight community, and all of our crew pretty much stuck it out from episode 1 all the way to the very end, and it was really only because everyone liked each other, and we were sort of all in it together. And that's just, you just don't get that on a lot of shows.
To Anna's point there, one of the interesting things about HBO is HBO spends money, right? When they do things absolutely to the letter. So the reason that you don't have Our Vampires having some kind of like trick where they can exist in the light is because we shot all the stuff at night. The reason that other shows have that, where there's a special pill they can take, or there's blood that they can have, or whatever.
Or they sparkle.
Or they sparkle, is because it's really, really expensive to shoot at night. So I know that might burst like some, you know, sort of vampire bubbles in some way, but it's actually true. So HBO not interested in doing that. They're interested in doing it to what it would actually be. So our show was notorious because it was just night shoots all the time. If we had some episodes that only took place night. Sometimes it would be 3 or 4 episodes that were just one night.
So that's week after week after week of everyone quite literally being on vampire hours. And I gotta be honest, by like about season 4, when new people would join our cast and be like, oh my God, why do you guys do so many nights? I'm like, it's a fucking vampire show. Did you not get the concept? Like, I'm sorry, but like, this isn't season 2 or 1. Like, you have no excuse for not knowing that we do a lot of nights.
But I think that all of us have done gigs, right? Where we'll come away with 1 or 2 lovely memories. There are so many hundreds of memories from this extraordinary thing, and so many families built, not just ours, many people who met on the show.
About 30 kids born within our cast and crew over the course. I mean, literally, about 6 sets of twins. It was a lot of life happened.
Yeah, so you can't come out with one distilled memory of it, you know? It's all amazing.
Yeah, I think we all bonded over the fact that, like, in terms of what we do as actors, as artists, we were being asked to do some really crazy stuff. Crazy and out there stuff. And I think that bonds you together in a way because you have a mutual respect and admiration for each other because
I've just remembered something.
We all, oh boy,
Can
oh
I
no, why are
just
you
say
grinning
something?
like that?
I was directing the first episode of season 7, right?
Here we go.
And there was a sex scene, not only with these two.
A scene of a special cuddle.
A special cuddle. It's a I'm really tired, I've got to go to sleep scene. And Joe was having to have that sleep scene with another lady on the show who had just had a baby and didn't want to get her...
That was in season 7, that was season 6.
No, this particular one was season 7 because we'd already shot it in season 6. This was season 7.
Are you talking about me?
No. And...
I believe it was season 6.
No, I don't. I mean season 7.
Sure?
Yeah.
It's so confusing. Who had sex with? I mean, who slept? I mean, who was sleepy? It's like, no, wait, that was the scene I had. No, I was with. Wait. We both.
Talking about the one outside.
Season 7 was a jump in time.
It was outside with 2 ladies.
Oh, that one.
That's the one I'm joking about.
That's not season 7.
Okay. Anyway.
They're married.
Season 7 was the cold open of Alcide and Sookie having a special cuddle.
When did
Anyway,
we jump
the point
in time?
was this. The point was this. The lady who was having the scene had asked that she not be shown, right? So I did a wind-up phone call on him, where I called him up and said, look, this actress is not going to get her boobs out, and I wondered if you wanted to be like a TV first, because I think it would be really amazing and really empowering if you did it naked. Frontal, full frontal. And I was walking around in my house like this. So, you know, Joe, I think it would be amazing. It'd be such a really bold thing for a man to do. And
I remember this conversation. I was doing this for you.
It was season 5. It was season 5. Sorry, I just remembered.
That was 5? All right, the werewolf three-way. What episode was that? Anyone?
I think it's episode 1, season 6, actually. It's season 6.
4 was the witches season.
4? 4? Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. Thank
They
you.
weren't around on
Anyway,
4.
it's doesn't matter. It's season 6, episode 1, I think.
Give that candy back.
Three
No,
way.
I'm kidding. Wait, no, I'm kidding. All right, anyway, yes, I remember the full frontal conversation that we had.
He was like, man, you know, I think it's like, I'd love to do that, but, you know, I think that, you know, I'd like to preserve the mystique.
I just did this penis bump scene, and I'm like, Mike, I don't know.
Who's got some questions? Tell you what we're gonna do is we're gonna set a microphone right in and up here, and I'm gonna ask you all to line up behind our